think manifestos are definitely important for young and for old people today. Artist manifestos. I kind of rediscovered them through the reading in the preparation of for this project and found them mind-blowing, but not only because they are about art, but also because they have this incredible energy, this enthusiasm, and this wish to change the whole world along with the art, and that's very fascinating. And this is eternally actual because they are mostly written in a phase of life when you're still young, when you just moved out of parents' house. So they have this adolescent energy that also is there because the writers wanted to understand where they stand in their life, right? So it's not only addressed to the outer world, it's also addressed inside. I would say I fell in love literally to each author of those manifestos while working on the text and with the text. The general recipe was, first of all, I started reading like literally every artist manifesto I could get, even those about film, theater, performance, dance, architecture. And then after discovering that they're actually speakable, performable texts, and deciding that I wanted to see them acted out in a contemporary context or in various contemporary contexts, the pleasure was re-editing those manifestos and creating new kind of meta-manifestos out of them. So I didn't change anything, but what I did, I shortened them and I combined them. Or by bringing artists together that had maybe the same thought in their art, although they were 30 years or 40 years apart in their creative time. That was so fascinating. And then once these original texts are freed from the weight of art history, you just discover this pure beauty of thought and of lyrics and poetry in these texts, and that was a great discovery.
We call upon all honest intellectuals, all writers and artists to abandon decisively the treacherous notion that art can exist for art's sake.
Even by giving them all to a woman, which has a feminist aspect, but also helps to just free them of the art historical weight. I love the idea that all those manifestos that were, bursting with testosterone, as I said, performed by a woman. Kate and I met through a mutual friend, and luckily in an exhibition of mine, so she could see my work. I'd known of course, her work and admired it for a long time. And so the idea came up to do something together, and then that idea was in the air. And when I was thinking about what could that be, which wasn't easy because the offer is so fantastic, but it's not easy to say like, okay, yes, I'm going to do this with her. So it was clear for me that she will play many characters, but it wasn't clear yet what it will be. And I came across those artist manifestos and had found my project for her. So once Kate and I started to talk, she also contributed a few ideas, and we played a bit idea ping pong. I hardly can imagine now, especially after having done it with her and seeing how wonderfully she does all that and what she contributed, I hardly can imagine anybody else, any other actor who could actually do that, especially in the time frame that we had and with this complete dedication, devotion and curiosity. And I mean, she seems to be a researcher, constantly trying to find out more about the human condition and complexity and trying to understand it with an artistic curiosity. So I see her work as art as well. So it was really like a collaborative process. Giving it to her helps to address or to bring in people that are normally not so open towards the arts in general, and especially not so interested in art manifestos or writings by artists. But I hope that all that together helps to make those texts more accessible. We artists should stand up and with our art and make noise and become part of the political discussion, even outside the context of education and culture, and which is difficult, outside the white cube prism. Even more in a time, I think, where the political life itself became kind of a talk showy showbiz, and where less and less content is really committed and communicated, and more facade. And So I think we have a role there, a very important role, not only by changing something in the heads of those kind of power makers that might make it once a year to an art opening, but also generally to just speak up and say something and understand this as a need. So whatever an artist has to say, it has to go out. It has to be heard. Artists seem to have senses for not only for their time, but also for what's coming up. And we should probably listen more to artists.